Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrade.com. It's Thursday, the 18th of June. This is my weekly recap. Shooting a little earlier today, taking off in a bit. I was out most of the afternoon, and the markets are closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. So we have a 3-day weekend. It is also Father's Day this weekend, guys. And to all the fathers out there, I wish you guys a very happy Father's Day. Probably no charts this weekend, but I will get a video out there at some point on Sunday before I go out. So let's talk about this week. Last week we came off the lows, and this week we held the move off the lows. We've been drifting southward ever after Monday, and here we are still holding the 21 day and the 8 day and back above it on the ES, and things aren't looking bad. And when you look around, the VIX is being pretty smashed down. Crude has weakened considerably, though holding the 200-day memorandum of understanding sign. Now, whether that leads to a lasting peace or not, that's not up for us to decide, but the market's good with it. That's all that matters. Bonds, nice little push, trying to wake up. That would be good. Bitcoin remains extremely weak, giving that pop back from the other day. Right now they still everything there, still sell everything there. So with SPY, again, nice week, holding in here okay. Inside yesterday's candle, still hasn't taken out. Still couldn't tell you what yesterday's candles was about. We had the Fed. You can pick your area of why you think that we sold off yesterday after they talked because the Fed was hawkish because fears of less transparency from the Fed. But honestly, I thought Borsch did a really good job. As I said, I gave him an A minus B plus, first one out there. I thought he really did a really good job with it. Just to put it out there. So everything holding fine. As we look around and talk what's really going on here, we've seen some broadening. The XLF, nice push there. JP Morgan hit a new all-time high yesterday and again today. Or down. Goldman as well. Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, right? These are all at or what are, for all intents and purposes, all-time highs. Citigroup's never getting back to its all-time high. So just keep that in mind there. Right, they held in well. Energy's gotten beaten up here a little bit. Not a big surprise on that. B hit and all will come to be up. Right, energy gotten beaten up. Again, we'll see where it goes. ExxonMobil went weak. B Energy, BE Energy, Blooming Energy, very strong. Nice move there. So, this week was about names and sectors in the right place at the right time. So, first off, we've had, as of today, we have 5 trading days accomplished in SpaceX. So here's what I could tell you about SpaceX. We get a beautiful 3-day push. I'm still long my allotted shares from about 135. I have bought a put to cover it, and the put is green, but barely, even though it's down some $40 from where I bought it. And that's because they're draining the hell out of the IV and they're playing games, and this is what they love to do. My personal belief is that SpaceX is not done, and we're going to get a dip here, and it's going to go higher, and then we'll see, and it's going to push much higher than here. We do now 225.64 is the new all-time high. Heavy volume remains on this name, so SpaceX still holding in, looking good. When you look at what else we were involved in trading this week, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that here. Still in some Google calls, they're red, not happy about it, but overall, it's trying to push back up. If it gets above the 21 day, it'll be fine. Hood had a couple nice trades yesterday. Today it's kind of resting, but huge move yesterday. That gave some trades. Nvidia today had a nice little push. The SMHs are on a new all-time high. And it's being led by, start off with DRAM, memory space. Look at SanDisk today. Another huge move. Micron earnings next week. Another huge move, right? Western Digital. Marble was on an absolute rampage today, new all-time high. ARM, new all-time high as well. AMD holding in just fine. Qualcomm, nice push here late today. We saw LRCX and ASML and AMAT all making new all-time highs this week. The market continues to come back to the semis and just rotating around. NVIDIA still kind of feels like the little step kid that nobody wants. IGV remains a massive problem. Can't retake the 50-day, looks weak. Microsoft, culprit number one, hasn't been above the 50-day now for 2 weeks. Oracle, despite, optimism off that report, can't get back above the 50-day. Salesforce is at a multi-year low. Snowflake, which is one of the better ones, broke into the gap today, but trying to hold out of it. I mean, you're just not getting anything there. Palantir, they all look tired still. It's just not the place. We saw names like Walmart and Costco try to push this week, couldn't, and they've capitulated back to the 200-day. They really don't want retail, even though retail sales numbers were better than expected. Netflix continues to look like hot death. And then you have your big tech companies. Amazon today, a nice bounce back off that area of the 100-day. Been bouncing off that. This is four area times it's bounced in that area now, showing some commitment to that. Meta trying to reclaim and hold 600. It got well below it again. Just they don't want it. Talk Google, Apple. Yesterday tried to push, failed, came back down inside day. Tesla, what can we say about Tesla? Today it's high, well off the lows. That's a good thing. But overall, it continues to look weak. You have a very well-defined downtrend there. And this is just kind of where we're at right now. So, nothing, nothing going on here, nothing nefarious, nothing wrong. The market is just very, very picky about where it wants to be right now. Now, supposedly now starts the June swoon where we're week to the end of the month. And that could be, we'll go back next week. We have a full week. You have Micron earnings, and then you come in after that, and we have a couple of days, and then we're into July and the July 4th holiday, and then we start earnings all over again. And, earnings is really what's going to start the next move in this market. So that said, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to the fathers. I'll put up a video out there on Sunday, and I'll catch you guys all live in the room on Monday morning.